Rasty McGibbon with Men's Division I, Purdue Northwest head coach Carl Trosien. Carl, thanks for coming on 5 Minute Major.
Absolutely, anytime.
5-year-old program.
Yep.
Second year at D1.
Correct.
And you are here at the national tournament.
I am here at the national tournament.
Not only here at the national tournament, but at the first national tournament, you guys have gotten a win and live on to play another day. Tell me, first of all, we'll talk about the win in a minute. Tell me just about the national tournament experience.
So I've been lucky enough to be at a couple of these at other levels. This is my first D1 national tournament, and just it's the best. It's why we play the games. It's why we do this for 8 months, right? So tournament here, it's always great, but this one in St. Louis, it's awesome. Like I love it here. This rink, this facility, it's perfect.
I was telling a story yesterday. I'm from Ontario, and I don't think it was last summer, summer before. I got the opportunity to take my son to a Blue Jays game for the first time in Toronto, and he would have been 5 at the time. So we kind of walk out the tunnel, and we're in the nosebleeds, and you walk out, and here's this huge stadium, and he stood there for 30 seconds just with his mouth open. What has the reaction been for your players that have never been to something of this magnitude? And I may be off by a couple. Last year we had 78 teams. With the expansion of D1, I think we may be at 86 teams this year. What sort of feedback are you getting from your guys?
I think they're overwhelmed with the amount of everything that happens here, right? A little bit more media, a little bit bigger lights, a little bit more coverage as far as the Twitter goes. So no, I think they're coming around to it, but I think they were a little just shell-shocked when we walked in on Thursday, for sure.
Tell me about being here and winning at the national tournament. What does that do for you as a coach? What does it do for your program? What does it do for confidence for your guys?
Yeah, so I think with the recruiting class we've had, where we were at, we had a pretty successful D1 season last year. I think we knew we had a chance, but this was really that point where it kind of starts to cement it that, we belong, and now we're playing on day 2, and goodness gracious, you get to day 3 or day 4, now you really belong. So I think it's just the confidence of them figuring out that, man, we may be a young program, but we belong here, and regardless of how this goes, I think it sets us up for a hungry group coming back, or that want to come back, right? And I think their off seasons maybe changed a little bit based on what we're seeing here this week.
You had mentioned to me just before you went on that you guys had success winning your regional championship against Adrian, a team that's a perennial here.
Yep.
Do you think that the confidence that you're seeing started with that win and has just flowed into the national tournament and now having success here, or how do you think that influenced it?
No, we've been on a pretty big run here, second semester, so I think that played into it, but I think the game against Adrian definitely gave them a different feel of confidence, knowing they're number 2 in the nation, and they are one of the 2 powerhouse favorites to win this whole thing. I think beating them at conference for the conference championship was kind of that reassurance that, when we do play the right way and we do play like we can compete with those teams. So it just gave us that extra boost of confidence. You come in here knowing that, we're not out of place.
So you'd mentioned that your previous coaching experience at other programs, this is not your first national tournament. How do you think it benefits you in terms of knowing that extra gear that you have to shift into when you get here? Because you've done it before.
Yep.
Do you think that benefits you tremendously?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. 100% it does. Yeah.
Some of the intangibles.
Yes.
Recruiting. Scheduling. You mentioned the increased media presence, brighter lights, more Twitter, more of all the social media stuff that a guy my age totally. I signed. It's funny, when I got here, I signed into my Twitter. I hadn't been on Twitter since, or X or whatever it is this week, since like April of last year.
Absolutely.
But what are some of the intangibles that you think your involvement and success? For first time here, for me, first time here, you win one game, I think you're successful. D1, D3, D2, whatever. What does that do for your program?
From a recruiting standpoint, it's awesome. That's something where every time a graphic goes out, every time we have some success, we get to share that with our recruits and get them just a little bit more excited about coming here and knowing this is the level of hockey I'm walking into, right? So that's huge for us. But then just for the program, my chancellor's here, my athletic director's here, my vice chancellor's here. To see the support that we're getting from the university, to see everybody so fired up about hockey is from Northwest Indiana. Not being a Northwest Indiana guy, it's not a traditional hockey market. So to see the excitement about hockey at Purdue Northwest has been probably one of the biggest eye-opening things. That, oh my goodness, I'm in the right place. Like, we're supported here. Like, they want to see us succeed. So that's awesome, and our boys feel that too.
How awesome is it to coach at a school where you have the support? I mean, last year I got the opportunity when I was in Marlboro to interview the chancellor of one of the women's Division II schools from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Yep.
Okay, that had come all the way down. I mean, I don't even know how many miles it is from Winnipeg to Marlboro. Okay, but does it just give you a peace when you're able to work, which is coach, and have that level of support? And any names you want to drop, I'd love it.
No, yeah, it does. And when I first got here, my ED Rick Costello made it in the interview process. Did a great job laying out what the support was, and then to get to know the admins, the higher up admins, Chancellor Halford, Chancellor Keon was the previous chancellor. It's just the support we're getting is phenomenal, and I feel like I'm home. I mean, I've been at 4 other schools, and this is the first time I feel like, man, this is a place where I can hang my hat and stay for a while and build a hockey program, and that's what you want, right? That's the part where now it starts to get exciting.
I think there's some people that would only measure success if you bring something big and shiny home. But I mean, I would say from my vantage point, you have been successful. Your demonstration is that year by year, you're more successful. So I just want to say congratulations.
Thank
you.
And
thanks so much for coming on 5 Minute Major. Best of luck today in your games. This is Carl Trosien, Purdue Northwest Men's Division I.